And the founder and managing partner of Geltrude and Company. Dan, there are different financial benchmarks you might want to hit by different ages. Sometimes you get an anxiety about it, but it really differs from person to person. So how can you be sure you're keeping pace with your financial goals?
Well, it starts at the beginning as soon as you get that first job. And believe it or not, once you start working, you actually have to start thinking about retirement, believe it or not. So what do? You want to make sure that you are putting as much as you possibly can or can afford into your retirement plan. Why? Because time is on your side. You want to use compounding interest to your advantage. So it's really all about budgeting for your future when you first get out of the blocks, let's say at age 25 through 35. Then after that, you get into those years of, let's say mid-30s to mid-40s. That's when you really want to start managing your money well. And what does that mean? Well, you want to make sure you're putting at least 15% of your earnings into a retirement plan. You want to fund as much as you possibly can in the 529 plans. What are those? That is tax-free investment into college, right? Because that ain't going to get any cheaper. And of course, you want to make sure you have your emergency funds set aside. You want to make sure, most importantly, of any insurance, disability insurance. Because if you end up in a situation where you can't work, what does the rest of your family do in that case? So from there, we get into the 45 to 55. Listen, that is real commitment to savings. And how do you do that? Well, you got to be really mindful of your lifestyle. That is not the time to overspend. And you also have the ability to do what's called a retirement catch-up in your 401k or your IRA, where you could actually put even more money in than you could when you're younger. And that's the sandwich generation, right? Our parents getting older. Got to make sure that your parents are taken care of, because if they're not, you may find yourself in a situation where you got to help out on that end.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this, mid-50s, mid-60s, that's what we would call the home stretch, right? So that's when you're looking at making sure you've paid down your debt, downsizing your home, and making sure that you have long-term care insurance, because that's another one of those things, really, really expensive if you need care. And then, of course, 65 plus, that's where you want to reap the rewards, as you were making reference to. That's the time where you got to figure out your Medicare, you got to plan your Social Security and your retirement withdrawals. Make sure you're going to have enough for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Of course, always control your spending. And then it's all about legacy.
Oh, we love the legacy, but
yes.
My favorite is you said you get a job and you immediately start about retirement, and that's it. It's like you're on this race for the whole time.
It is. And there are so many steps that people need to take, reading, research, but a lot of people think things, oh, that sounds maybe important, but I don't need it. It's not for me right now. For younger groups and for older groups, what are some of the key mistakes that you see people making, or things that people overlook and forget that really, really are top of mind, should be on the top of your list?
Well, the first thing that you want to avoid, no matter what, is getting into credit card debt. I tell young people all the time, when you start maxing out those credit cards and then you're making the minimum payments, you never catch up. So that is one thing that you need to make sure that you do not do. Use a debit card so you only spend what you have. But I have to say, time is on your side when you're young, so that is really when you want to maximize that retirement. You'd be amazed how you can become a millionaire by retirement by not having to put that much away. Why? Because your money is working for you as opposed to you working for your money. That is the main thing to keep in mind.
Okay, we got a minute left with you. I want to hone in, not on the younger folks, but the folks that you said you have a period of time where you can have that catch-up retirement, if you will, in their 45 to 55-year range. What is your single most best piece of advice for them, bottom line?
So the people that are hitting that retirement age, yes, still maximize how much you can put in your retirement, but more than anything, be careful of the overspending, because once you run out, you run out.
Words to live by. Got to start saving now and not to overspend. Dan Geltrude, founder and managing partner of Geltrude & Company. Thank you so much.
Thank you.